Hello, I'm Rachel Jones for Kalkine Media. Welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, I'm speaking with Sonia Sadiq Gandhi, founder of India-Australia Business and Community Alliance. Now, the Alliance is one of the largest platforms connecting businesses and entrepreneurs from both Australia and India. Hi, Sonia. Good to have you with us today.
It's wonderful to be here, Rachel. Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, I'm very interested in hearing more about the Alliance. So how did you come to set it up, and why is it important to grow business relationships between Australia and India?
I guess every bilateral relationship begins with people, right, Rachel? So this platform, which is now in its ninth year, exists or was born to strengthen the Australia-India relationship while simultaneously contributing to its development, but really through our assets, which are our rich people-to-people links. Of course, the platform's received international recognition as a tool for cultural diplomacy, bilateral trade enhancement, but the recent signing of the ACTA, which means unity in Hindi, the Australia-India Economic Trade and Cooperation Agreement by ministers, that the two ministers signed, federal ministers of India and Australia, has brought IABCA into light, an alliance that recognizes the challenges that people face when doing business with both countries, but most importantly, enhances the connectivity between the diaspora again.
And there's some very good news for the Alliance with the freshly inked free trade agreement between Australia and India. What fresh opportunities do you think this can create for both nations?
I think there's lots of opportunities in the goods and services sector, but also in the mobility space. But most importantly, we have never seen this sort of exchange between the two countries across the space of, say, just from a goods export point of view.
So the recent IABCA Global Leaders Forum and Awards happened recently, and it's put the spotlight on major players and some big investment opportunities within India-Australia trade relations. Could you share some insights on that for us, Sonia?
Yes, the IABCA Business Forum, which actually came at such a good time when the Australia-India ACTA agreement was signed. There is plenty of opportunities. I mean, India is only 1.3 billion people, and to be honest, Rachel, it is the youngest population at the moment globally. So there's lots to tap into. But when I say doing business with India, the key thing to remember is we have 28 states and 8 union territories. Treat each one of the states as a different country from a cultural, food, consumer, business protocol perspective. But understanding the Australia-India Comprehensive Economic Agreement is also very critical to this stepping stone or this bilateral exchange between our two countries. I guess there's quite a few areas that in the space of goods, such as, sheep, meat, wool, metallic ores, magnesium, copper. But when you look at the services sector as well, I think there is a lot to tap into, particularly in the higher education space, business services, dental, professional, communication, insurance, and banking as well. I guess no such deal has been signed so far between the two countries. So we feel very privileged to also, fire in the tourism side of things into this component of this agreement. But the transparency in reducing the non-tariff barriers to trade is the critical game changer between it all.
Absolutely. And just looking at the awards ceremony hosted by the Alliance recently, what do you believe were some of the key moments from that event?
There were so many. I strongly believe when you recognize people's achievements, the challenges come through, especially in the business sphere. The key components were at the forum, we actually had the chief negotiator of Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade in a panel discussion with Austrade. And I find that a lot of people or a lot of Australians aren't aware that this deal is historic because it took nearly 10 years to come together. So to actually have the chief negotiator of DFAT at the event talking through the challenges, talking through the strengths of the ACTA agreement was an absolute game changer. From a people to people and a relationship perspective, the awards really highlighted the rich business key touch points and the partnerships. And when I say partnerships, a great example of this is an Indian business collaborating with a business in Queensland on 3D holograms. So all the 3D hologram technology has come from Australia, is worked in with an Indian business that has taken that into all the museums of India. I mean, to actually have that sort of collaboration and have the IABCA awards shared those rich stories of partnership and collaboration was a key highlight for over 1,000 people that came together from both countries at the Alliance event.
And what do you think are the benefits for India and Australia trade relations, and who are some of the big players?
Look, I believe that investment obviously works both ways, of course. So this trade agreement has highlighted that yes, there is need for a lot of Indian investors, and mind you, I must have to say this. Cricket is a huge draw card. Australia is hosting the largest global sporting event, the T20 Men's World Cup. Now, what that does is throws around a cultural diplomacy focus where a lot of Indian investors, are coming in with through the IABCAs to Australia to look at investing possibly at the new airport that we're building, possibly at different infrastructure opportunities, and vice versa. We have a lot of Australian companies looking to do business with the youngest and one of the top global economies, India. And I think that is a great game changer. But I think Australia and India, from a trading point of view, we sit in the seventh largest economies in terms of where Australia does business with India. How do we bring that to the top three? That is where the people to people relationship, the corporate Australia relationship will come into play. I do believe that corporate Australia has a job to do here in terms of taking and educating a lot of the exporters around what India has to offer and vice versa. But I think the strong foundation that the ACTA is built upon will deliver the new opportunities and will diversify Australian businesses when they think around edtech, agtech, e-commerce, all of those different opportunities that India has on offer across so many diverse sectors.
It absolutely seems like such a fast-paced growing area. So what are your near-term plans for the organisation for the rest of 2022?
What a great question, Rachel. And this so excites me because for the first time, the India-Australia Business and Community Alliance is actually heading to India. So we turned 10, and as founder of the Alliance, you can see I'm very passionate about it. We turned 10 in 2023. So we are taking the entire Alliance and a delegation of nearly 100 Australians exporters or to-be exporters to India, hopefully in February of 2023, with support of both the High Commissions, Australian and Indian, and hoping to host some key sector-focused driven events in India as part of the IABCAs. And what we're also trying to do is bring in the element of cricket. We can't talk about Australia India without cricket. So hoping to take the Australian cricket team or travel with the Australian cricket team when they travel in Feb, and also have a lot of cultural elements, because at the end of the day, it's understanding young India, it's understanding new India. Most importantly, it's understanding the two-way ambassadors, which are the Australian Indian diaspora, which will be traveling with this delegation. So those are the highlights for 2023. So once every year, IABCA will take place in India, and the other year, biannually, it'll be in Australia. So what a great bilateral exchange between the two countries on our business-to-business front.
Well, it absolutely sounds like very exciting times for the Alliance. Thanks so much for your time today, Sonia.
Thank you, Rachel. It's an honour.
Thank you. And that was Sonia Sadiq Gandhi, founder of India-Australia Business and Community Alliance. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview on our YouTube channel, Kalkine Media, so make sure to subscribe. I'm Rachel, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.